Are you ready to win some fabulous new yarn? Stay tuned for how you can be part of my next giveaway. Hey there, Fiber Junkies! Welcome back to the Color Cauldron. I'm Johanna, the owner and dyer behind Potion Yarns and host of this podcast. And today I have two exciting new things that we're doing for you. One is a giveaway and the other is our first book review. So I'm going to start something, I don't think we're going to do it on a super regular basis, but just every so often I want to start reviewing knitting books or books having to do with knitting, crocheting, and fiber crafting. Partly because I personally am a huge book lover and a big collector of knitting and fiber related books, but also because they can be really great resources for you guys. And I frequently get questions on the podcast and through my social media and at yarn shows about where I get some of the patterns that I use. A lot of them come from Ravelry, but and a lot of them are available on Ravelry, but many of them do come from books that I have found at the library or that I have in my collection or that someone has given me or loaned me. So I really, really love having books around. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, I'm the daughter of a librarian. My mom was a stay-at-home mom when I was growing up, but that was a loosely applied term in our house because she was always full of volunteering and helping other people out. And one of her things that she did pretty regularly from the time even before I was in school, I think, until a couple years before I graduated high school, she was the volunteer school librarian at my tiny little private school that I went to, which was amazing because I got tons of exposure to books. Both of my parents are big readers, both of my older sisters are big readers, and I'm a big reader, or I used to be until I got super busy. And I just love having books, like actual books around. I am a big fan of electronic and digital patterns that we have now because it saves a lot of space and it saves a lot of paper, but there's nothing that can quite compare with sitting down and flipping through an actual, honest-to-goodness book full of color photos and glossy pages. I just really, really love that. So I use a lot of books on the podcast, and so we're going to start doing some reviews of those books. Now, these aren't necessarily going to be the latest and greatest publications. I will try to get my hands on the newest books when they come out, but I'm not going to only review brand new books. We're just going to go through like my collection or things that I've found or that my local libraries have that I enjoy, so that you guys can get a wide variety of different books on a lot of different topics and kind of have some more help for skill building and inspiration and things like that. So we are going to do our book review right now, and then at the end of the episode I'm going to give you details on how you can be entered to win some free yarn and goodies in my next giveaway. So today's book review is one that I have actually mentioned several times on the podcast before, and I've shown a couple patterns from it that I'm working on, and that is Knitting Wizardry. This is a really interesting book that I picked up a while ago, several years ago actually. It's put together by Amy Clark Moore, and this is a book that is basically everything in it is revolving around like fantasy stories. It doesn't really talk about specific films or books or stories. It's not related to any particular brand like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings or anything like that. It's more of a general, like, any kind of story that has like wizards and sorcerers and fantasy and magic and things like that. So it's a very particular look in this book. If you're not into those types of patterns or those types of stories, you may just want to give this one a skip over because it does have kind of some fantastical patterns. But I know a lot of you guys are really into those types of things. I'm personally into them. I really enjoy them. And I like a wide variety of stories as well. So I really liked this book even better than some that I've seen that are specifically Harry Potter or specifically Chronicles of Narnia or something, because it has a wide variety of stories and it has more of like that general feel. So you don't even have to know the stories to appreciate the patterns. And that's kind of why I enjoyed it. Now, the fun thing is this has patterns from all different designers in it. So there are a couple that have multiple patterns in here. Like one is Rachel Coopy. She's got a couple different ones in here. But it's a variety of different patterns that have been curated together that all kind of have this look. And there are a lot of different styles in here. And the fun thing about this, and one of the reasons I wanted to start with this book, is because it's not just women's patterns. A lot of knitting and crochet books, we all know, tend to focus on women for their models, for their patterns, for their styles, and they might throw an occasional guy's pattern in there, and more often than not, it's not a pattern a guy would actually wear if you took the trouble to knit it or crochet it for him. It's more like, oh, this was fun and cute and interesting, and I wanted to put it together, and then I'm going to give it to my hubby, and hopefully he wears it, and then he doesn't, and he feels guilty because he should wear it because you made it, but he doesn't like it. It's one of those. This book is not like that. I feel like the patterns, they do have several guy patterns, and then they have several gender neutral patterns that anybody can wear, like socks or mittens that are not specific to a particular gender. And I feel like they do a really good job of having actual wearable patterns. Like, they all have that fantasy element to them, so they feel really fun, but they're not so fantastical that you wouldn't wear them. I have never finished a project from this book yet, and that's embarrassing to admit when I just told you that I've had it for a couple years now. But I have wanted to several times, and I've been planning to, and I have actually started 2 projects from this book that I've talked about on the podcast before, so we're not going to talk about them right now. One was the Tracery Vest, which looks like stained glass windows, and the other was the cotillion arm warmers, which are just some long fingerless glove arm warmer things, opera length. Both of those I started, the vest I started a couple years ago and then put down and kind of lost and forgot about, and just recently refound it. And so I'm in the process of trying to figure out if I need to rip it out back to a certain point and start over from the color work section, or if I can just pick up where I left off. I don't know, and I haven't had time to deal with it, but I'm hoping to get back to that soon. The other one, the arm warmers, I actually just started a couple months ago, and I totally forgot about. I put them down when I was traveling out of town for something, and then just completely forgot about them. And I just remembered them right before I started filming today and was like, oh yeah, I need to finish those. I was so close to being done. So anyways, I will hopefully get back to those soon, but we're not going to talk about those right now because I have mentioned them and shown the pattern on the podcast before. But I did want to tell you guys that so far, of the 2 patterns that I have knit, I have been finding them relatively easy to follow. The Tracery Vest was a little tricky for me, but I think that's because the first time I was knitting it, I've already ripped it out and restarted it like twice. And the first time I was knitting it at a knitting night circle when I got to the color work part. And so the ribbing part was really, really easy. It's just corrugated color work ribbing. And then I got to like the actual chart. And I was at this knitting night talking to a bunch of ladies while I'm knitting, and so I wasn't paying super close attention. So I think that was user error, not the fault of the pattern, because I ended up finding that I was struggling with some sections, and I ripped it back and restarted from the tricky chart section, and it seemed to go a lot better the next time around. The problem is I keep putting it down for like months at a time, and then I pick it back up and I've lost my place. Even marking it and making notes in my pattern, I can't just seem to pick it back up. But I think that the pattern is pretty well written, and the cotillion arm warmers I haven't had a single bit of trouble with. Now, because this is a bunch of different designers, it is possible that there are some patterns that are written better than others, and I just haven't run into any problems because I've only tried 2 of them. However, in general, it seems like the charts are clear and well written. The editing of this book makes everything look really nicely and neatly laid out. Everything seems to be pretty well done. There seem to be a lot of clear instructions and easy charts. I don't think it's terribly difficult to follow, but I would say that the majority of the patterns in this book are more like intermediate patterns. There's a couple that might even be considered advanced, but I think most of them are more along the intermediate lines. There's sweaters, vests, and other garments. There's a bunch of accessories, like there's several patterns for arm warmers or fingerless gloves or mittens or something. There's a couple scarves and shawls. There's actually, believe it or not, you probably do in a book called Knitting Wizardry, but there are like 3 different patterns for cloaks or something. They're all different sizes, different lengths, different styles, but I love that kind of stuff, so I'm like, yes, 3 cloaks, I love this. But I could see some people being like, really, do we need another cloak? Are you serious? Yes, wizards always need another cloak. So I wanted to show you guys 3 patterns though that I really thought were super fun and noteworthy. There are definitely more patterns than this that I love in this book, but these are 3 that I just wanted to pull out and show you guys. The first one is called the Chilly Castle Socks. And that's these right here. I love these socks. I have not knit them, but they are on my definite wish list. And I love these socks, I think honestly, because I love the colors they chose. It's kind of like a sagey, woodsy, golden, brownish green. I don't know, it's hard to tell if it's more of a gold, a brown, or a green. It's kind of all of those mixed together. But it's this really kind of like, the color is called artichoke, which sounds more green, but it doesn't look super green in the picture. It's more of a goldy, brownish green. But it's really, really pretty, kind of like antique brass or something, or antique gold. And then this eggplanty purple is their accent color. So I think I really just like the colors they picked because they look very rich and old world and very, very rich saturated tones. And I also love this. These are knit in the sample in the book is knit in Shibui staccato yarns, which I have actually knit with only once before, but I freaking loved it. It's a silk blend yarn. It's superwash merino, silk, and nylon. So it's great for socks. It's great for, I did it for some fingerless gloves. It's absolutely fantastic, and it just feels incredible. And the shine, the silk content is pretty high, so the shine on these is amazing. So I think I love it because I feel like you can even see in the photo that they took the amount of shine that's on these socks. It's crazy. But I also really like it because it's gender neutral, so you can make it for anybody, any age, any gender, any style. It's very, very classic type of sock, but it's more interesting than just a boring old knit 2 purl 2 rib. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we don't want to only make boring plain old ribbed or vanilla socks all the time, right? So I like that it's classic and simple enough that even the most conservative gentleman would wear them, or the most picky child, but it's more exciting to knit than just a basic rib. It's kind of like got this interesting, I don't know what you call that, but it's an interesting, they're calling it a specked rib. I don't know what that means, but it's really cool looking. And then I love that you can put, you don't have to do this, but it's designed where you can put in the initials of the recipient, so whoever's wearing the socks, or your own, or you could put in something else, you know, that is meaningful to you, whatever you want, but it's supposed to be monogrammed. And they have a lovely little chart over here of all the different letters in the alphabet so that you can put in any initials that you want. So I thought that was really, really cool. Also, socks are a relatively universally satisfying, relatively quick project for a lot of people. So I think that's a good one. And then the next one is called A Cap Full of Caps, which you can see right here. The reason I like this is because it's a great stash buster project. First of all, it's freaking adorable. How cute is this little guy right here and his cute little hat? I feel like this would be excellent for a kid's hat because it's colorful and it's kind of quirky and fun and funky, so it'd be great for those kids. I don't have my own kid yet. Mine is still in process, so I don't know, because I was the youngest in my family. I didn't have any little siblings, so I don't know I don't remember what it's like to be 10, but my guess when I was looking at this, I was like, I feel like this would be good for a kid that's between like 8 and 12 years old. Like kind of that quirky, awkward, not quite a teenager yet stage, but like starting to get their own personality and a little bit older. That's just what I thought. So I feel like it'd be great for a kid, but I mean, I would wear this. It's super cute, and I feel like it's good for any gender again. You can make it in any colors you want. They just used a bunch of different scraps, and so it looks like you've got several hats piled on all at once, but it's actually just one hat, and you just knit a little bit, and then, you know, change colors and do the next part of the pattern so that it looks like stacked up hats. And then you can add a pom-pom or leave it off if you want, but it's got that kind of funny little peaked, I don't know what you call that, peaked crown flipping over. I just thought it was really cute, and I love, love, love stash buster projects because who among us doesn't have 1,000,001 little partial skeins and little leftover balls from our other projects that we need to use up? And this would be a great way to do it. So I haven't knit that one yet, but I keep thinking one of these days I need to bust out the leftover yarns and do that one. And it is used, I think, with fingering. Yes, it is fingering weight yarn. Well, it's kind of a heavy fingering to a light sport, so somewhere between fingering and sport weight in the pattern, although I feel like you could easily adjust your numbers a little bit. If you're a more advanced knitter and you're comfortable doing this, you could adjust the numbers and use a DK or a worsted as well if you wanted to. And that might also change the size a little bit, so you can make them a little bit smaller or larger. But the last pattern I really wanted to highlight is called the Lady of the House Wrapper. And here's a picture of that right here. This was the best picture I could find in the book. The pictures in here are a little bit dark, and with the lights I've got on today, there's a little bit of a glare, so I was struggling a bit with coming up with a great photo because there's just only a couple photos in this book. But it's a really, really pretty little shrug, basically. So it doesn't take a ton of yarn, and it just goes across the back of your shoulders and down each arm, but it's like really, really cropped and like just barely over your bust line. So it doesn't come down very far, which makes it really, really great for gift giving if you know the approximate size of the person you're knitting for, but you don't know like all of it. You don't have to know like bust measurements and waist and hips and all of that stuff, and it doesn't have to be super, super fitted because this wrapper is designed to be a little bit looser. Unlike some shrugs that are like skin tight and stretched out over your arms, this one is a little bit looser and blousier on the arm, and then just kind of like meets in the middle with kind of these little triangles that come together with a little button. And so it's relatively easy gift giving, which is why I thought it was really cool. Also, I want to knit it for myself because it's really pretty. Here's another picture of the back of it. I just really like this. This is also knit in fingering weight yarns. They did it in Madeline Tosh sock, which is a hand-dyed basic sock yarn, and it's kind of a lightly variegated colorway, so I feel like this stitch pattern is really good for, it'd be awesome in a semi-solid or a solid, but I feel like you could get a little bit crazier and do variegated or speckled yarns with it as well and still have it turn out really cool. So that's on my to knit list as well because I think it's really, really pretty. And it would be really, really easy to wear with a lot of things because it does just come up like over your bust in the front and just go over your arms. You don't have to worry about the bust measurement at all, really. You just need to get approximate on the back, the cross back measurement, and that's close enough. So I think it's really, really cool. It does take, I believe, 3 skeins of sock yarn. I think it's like something like that. Let me see. Yeah, they're using 3 skeins at about 400 yards each of sock yarn for theirs. That seems like a lot for how small that garment is, but I'm guessing just because it's kind of drapey and it looks like the pattern they used does use up quite a, the stitch pattern uses up a little bit more yarn than like a basic stockinette or something, so that's probably why. But it's really, really pretty. I really like it, and I think it would be great to make. So there's a whole bunch of other patterns in here. Like I mentioned, there's several good guy patterns. There's several gender neutral patterns. There's a bunch of cute girl patterns. There's sweaters, vests, socks, hats, gloves of all types, fingerless gloves. There's really just a little bit of everything. The only thing it doesn't have is like homeware accessories and toys. So, which I hate knitting and crocheting toys. I'm not good at those little soft stuff things that people make. My sister makes a bunch of those. I cannot do them. But there aren't any of those types of things. It's all garments and accessories and wearables. But there's a pretty good variety of different ones, and I feel like they do a pretty good job of having different sizes. They even have like a plus-sized male model in here that's knitting. I don't know, is that what we call guys that are a little bit heavier? I mean, he's not huge, but like, you know, he's a good sized guy. It's literally, he's knitting the giant, or he's modeling the giant's sweater because he's a large man. So the sizes go up pretty high as well, which is another thing I really liked about it, is I feel like they did a good job of providing a wide variety of sizes, even for all of the garments and things, so that you can knit for just about anybody on your list, and just about any size that you are, you can find something in there that'll fit you and look great. So I really love that as well. So that's the book that I'm reviewing. I would give it out of a 5-star rating, where 5 is amazing, you need to get this book right now, and 1 is like, you can skip this. I don't think it's any good. I would probably give this like a 4.5. It's really, really good. I really enjoy it. I think it's fun. Pardon my copy looking so beat up. I think I've mentioned on the podcast before, this book was an unfortunate victim of a spilled drink when it was out on a coffee table one time, and so it's gotten a little bit of water damage, but it's still good. You can still read all the patterns. It just looks a little funky. But I really love it. It's great. I believe you can still get this through Knit Picks, which is where I got mine. And I think you can also find it on Amazon. I will look up a couple places and see if I can find a place to purchase it online, and I'll put a link to that below. Please leave me a comment below if you have this book, or if you have read it before, if you've ever knit anything out of the book, please leave me a comment and let me know what your rating would be and what you think of the book. What's your favorite pattern? What did you like or not like about it, etc.? Would you recommend it to people? I would love to get you guys' feedback as well, because this is just my personal opinion. I'm not an official book reviewer. This is just me telling you guys what I think and what my thoughts and impressions of the books are. But I would love to hear what you guys think as well, and maybe that will help guide some other viewers as they're reading through the comments. They can compare what you guys say to what I say and decide if this is the right book for them. So please leave me a comment and let me know. Okay, time for our giveaway. Phoebe, it's time for the giveaway. Yay! She's like, oh my god, I'm not here for this. It's a morning time and she's so not here for this. Okay, so I have a special giveaway for you guys today. I've had a lot of people that have been sending me so many great well wishes and so much love and support ever since I announced my pregnancy on the podcast. If you have missed it before, Mr. Potion Yarns and I are expecting our very first baby this October in 2019. So I am currently just hitting 20 weeks pregnant right now. And Mr. Potion Yarns and I had a super exciting week this week because it was his birthday a couple days ago, so we were celebrating that. And on his birthday, we actually had our 20-week sonogram where we get to go in and they check to make sure that there's no abnormalities showing up on the sonogram with the baby's anatomy or anything. Everything's fine, everything looks good, no mutant babies so far. But we also get to find out the gender. So we found out the gender this week, and I know a lot of people have been asking if we were going to tell. We are going to tell, but we're not going to tell quite yet. And the reason is I thought we should do a giveaway to celebrate. I am one of those people where I like to make a really big deal out of every little thing that happens in my life. Probably to the point where people get annoyed and are like, okay, we get it. Like, you got a new car, hooray. But seriously, like, birthdays are a big deal, anniversaries of things other than just our wedding. So like anniversaries of the first time we went on a date. And I'm not as bad as Leslie Knope on Parks and Rec, if you've ever seen that show. I love that show. But she literally has like breakfast day, the first time she and her best friend went to breakfast and things like that. I'm not that bad at all. But I do like to make a big deal out of the things that I find significant. And having my first baby is pretty significant, I think, especially because a couple years ago I was hardcore on the I'm never having children train, ever. So I didn't think I was ever going to be doing this. And so this is kind of like a big shift for me. It was super exciting. We changed our mind and decided we were going to have a baby, and now we are, and it's super exciting. So I just want to celebrate, and I also really wanted to do something to give back to you guys because I have had so much support the last couple of months. Some of you guys know I've had a rough year in 2019, both personally and professionally. There have been a lot of just surprises, unexpected hitches, setbacks, scary moments, big growing opportunities, and some of them really great, like a baby, some of them not so great, like deaths in the family and setbacks to my business and things. So it's been a tough year, and I have really, really appreciated how much support I have received from you guys. It has been incredible and so encouraging to my family and to me that you guys have reached out and sent kind comments, wonderfully sweet emails, continue to support our shop by buying yarn and promoting us, sharing our posts, sharing our videos, all of that stuff. So because of all of your amazing support, I thought what better way to celebrate revealing the baby's gender than to do a giveaway. It's super easy to enter, and I'm actually going to be doing 2 simultaneous giveaways for the next week. It's only going to be going on for about a week. We will be doing the next video next week is going to be Saturday night at the movies. And so you only have a couple of days to enter this giveaway. So I will be continuing to take names in for the giveaway until Thursday night at midnight. So that would be June 6th, 2019. Midnight is the cutoff. You can't enter the giveaway. You can still leave a comment if you want after that, but you can't enter the giveaway after that because I'm going to need to get the podcast edited, and I'll need to add on our giveaway part so we can edit the podcast and get that out in a timely manner. And I will also be traveling next weekend, so I have to do all of that before I head out. So we're going to make sure that we get everybody a chance to enter, but you only have till Thursday midnight, June 6th to enter. All you have to do to enter is leave me a comment below this video and give this video a thumbs up. So click that like button right now so you get entered, and then leave me a comment below, and all you have to say in the comment is, what do you think the gender is? There's two options, boy and girl. We're just gonna go with traditional genders for now. And I will reveal that next week on the podcast, and I will also be picking names for a giveaway. So that means that somebody is going to win some free yarn. It will be coming from my shop. I am hoping to throw in a couple extra goodies too, but I don't know yet what the goodies are. Probably an enamel pin from my shop, and maybe some other just fun little things, little extra doodads and trinkets, but we will be doing that next week. I'm also going to be having a second simultaneous giveaway. I was going to do just one huge giveaway, and I decided that's no fun and everybody likes prizes, so let's do two and give away two things. So if you go over to my Instagram, again, I'll put a link to it below so that you can follow me if you're not already following me. Follow me on Instagram, and I will be putting up a post this weekend. So this will be the weekend of June 1st and 2nd. I'll be putting up a post where you can enter to win some free yarn. Same kind of a thing. All you have to do is guess whether it's a boy or a girl. And then everyone who enters, and you don't even have to guess right. That's the thing. I was going to do just whoever got the right gender. But I was like, literally it's a 50-50 chance, and like, that's not fair. Like, I just want you guys to have fun and participate. Leave your comment on my Instagram post and leave a comment here, and that means you'll get entered in two different giveaways, and you might get two chances to win. There is only one chance to win per person though, per giveaway. So you can enter on YouTube and on Instagram, but you can only enter once. You can't guess boy and then do another comment and guess girl and get two entries. Sorry. Doesn't work like that. So just one entry per person on each giveaway, so you can enter up to two times, once on Instagram, once on YouTube. So I will put a link to that below so that you can make sure that you get in on that giveaway as well. I will be announcing that next week, like I mentioned, and I'm super, super excited to tell you guys what we are having. It's really fun for me to have a little bit more actual closure on that part of it, because trying to set up a baby registry when I didn't know what I was having is difficult. It is possible because you can do gender neutral things, but I'm kind of the person who likes to go all out on something, and so my intention when we started our registry weeks ago was to go very gender neutral with everything. And I was like, even when we find out if we're having a boy or a girl, we're not going to be like super traditional pink and blue crap for everybody. I don't care. Like, my boy can wear pink and my girl can have, like, you know, action figures and whatever. That's fine. And that is fine. But I found the more I was shopping around, the more I was really getting drawn into like very gender specific things where I was like, this would look odd in a little boy's nursery, or if we have a girl, if she decides she's into that someday, that's fine, but I don't know that I want to put that in a baby's room. Like, so I've kind of changed my mind on a few of those things, and I'm finding it a lot easier now that I have an actual decision, and I know, barring any unforeseen circumstances or mistakes that they may have made, because I have heard that can happen, but assuming that our technology is great enough that they know what they're doing, it's nice to have like some closure on that and just be like, okay, I have one set of names I need to work on, one set of baby registry items I need to work on. I can just, half of the stuff I can just put on the other side and not worry about. So that's kind of exciting for me to have that, and I'm really excited to share that with you. So thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and for supporting this channel. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, the red button down below this video, and make sure you tap the bell so that you get notified every time I have a new video, so you don't miss any giveaways, so you don't miss any new announcements, you don't miss any of the Saturday Night at the Movies, which is coming next week. I'm so excited. I can't wait to film that video for you. It's going to be so fun. So yeah, tap that button below and make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you share this channel with all of your friends, because we love having a big old party over here at the Color Cauldron, and the more the merrier, so make sure you invite everybody to come watch it and join in on the fun. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will talk to you later, but it is now time to cast off. Love you!